Hello everyone, welcome back to the YU-KOMORI channel. Now today I will be going over something a lot of people are very interested in. And that topic will be manga. Whether it's romance, action, horror, manga has it all for you. Now, manga is basically the Japanese equivalent to comic books, and as a comic book fan and a manga fan, since I love anime and manga, I will be going over one of my favorite mangas, and it's based off one of my favorite characters of all time, Spider-Man. And no, it's not this manga, Spider-Man Fake Red. Although it was a really good read and I really enjoyed reading this, we'll be talking about the other Spider-Man manga. And no, I'm not talking about Spider-Man J. I'm talking one that predates this. The first non-Peter Parker Spider-Man. Back in 1971 and 1970, it was Spider-Man, the manga. This was released in the 1970s, from 1970 to 1971, written by these two men that I cannot pronounce their names. Now, this video is going to have topics that I do not want anyone sensitive to watching. This will include things like rape, gore, and murder. And if you are sensitive to these topics, please click off. Now, without further ado, let's get into the manga. The first issue starts off with YU-KOMORI working on a science project at his school, and then he eventually gets bitten by a radioactive spider and gets his superpowers. And then he gets bullied outside when he walks out of class, and he punches steel, and then he realizes he has the strength to bend it. Then, after that, he tests out his new abilities and starts climbing a wall out of nowhere. Then he gets home, and then he starts working on his Spider-Man costume. The first issue is very straightforward and is very quick. It's not that long. And then he gets a note from his love interest, Rumi, who is his friend at this time. She was his pen pal, because back then pen pals were a thing. So then after this, he meets up with Rumi, and she talks about her brother, which leads us to the next issue. The next issue is about Rumi trying to find her brother because they haven't spoken in a while. She needs help with money, and the money she needs is around 100 grand. So then Spider-Man finds Electro later on this issue. I'm not spoiling the whole thing, I'm just giving you a rundown. Spider-Man and Electro fight, and later on in the issue, since I'm not spoiling anything, Electro dies. Spider-Man kills him in issue 3 of the manga. I know I said I wasn't spoiling anything, but I'm only going to spoil some parts that make his version different from Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Now, the first thing is, as Chameleon was Spider-Man's first villain, not Electro, but I guess they wanted someone like Electro to be the first villain. Now, to keep this video short, I will be getting into the things that differ YU-KOMORI from Peter Parker and the topics that I mentioned earlier. Now, without further ado, let's get on with it. In one of the issues, YU-KOMORI's Spider-Man throws away his costume, calling himself an egotist and a hypocrite, comparing himself to the villain named the Kangaroo. In another instance, this is where it's gonna get really weird and make a lot of Spider-Man fans mad. In one instance, YU-KOMORI is trying to study, but then he is desperate to get his girlfriend back, Rumi, because she became a go-go dancer, which is basically I'm not going to say it, but you could probably guess what it is. He starts imagining ripping off her clothes and begins to masturbate as he pines over Rumi. This is basically a theme of the manga. The manga was written by these two men that did not understand how Spider-Man is. Now, basically at this time, this was Japan's Peter Parker, because Peter Parker wasn't in Japan at this time. Now, the thing is with this manga is that rape is a common occurrence. In one issue, YU-KOMORI tries stopping a group of Max men from raping a woman, but she mistakes him for one of the attackers. Later on, when YU-KOMORI is confronted about this, he just accepts his fate, and now he is known as a predator. This version of Spider-Man is very depressing, and I'm saying things that might get my channel taken down. So I'm being careful of what the things that happen in this manga. Now, I'm not going to show any of the gore that happens in the manga because I do not want to get my channel deleted. In another instant, a woman is pulled away from the club that YU-KOMORI is in, and two men grab her with the intentions of rape. This is what he has to say about the common occurrence that's going on. Now, if this was Peter Parker, he would have jumped in with no hesitation. But this isn't Peter Parker. This is Spider-Man of Earth 719, YU-KOMORI. Now, those are just the things I wanted to get out the way. If you want to read the manga, you could go ahead. It's available on eBay to purchase. It's available online to read. And this is just what I wanted to talk about for the other Japanese Spider-Man. You can tell that this version of Spider-Man is not kid-friendly. He's nothing like his main counterpart. And for the first different Spider-Man besides Peter Parker, this character does not capture what Peter Parker is. And that's what I kind of like about the manga, is that it's its own take on Spider-Man. Although that the themes are pretty, it's just questionable to say, but I guess this was just Japan's standards at the time. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you want, tune in next time on my upcoming videos. Catch you guys later.